food money.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And there's a bunch of other pitchers, guys, that from my part of the world I recognize. Robert Paquette, one of them from Montreal,
Okay.
and Julian St. Denis. They were like 3 and 4 all the time. They were behind Cliff and Bill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Cliff and Bill were the top two, and then Robert Paquette from Montreal and Julian St. Denis. They were ranked 3 and 4.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, until we all improved a bit, then we began beating them the odd time when they got older.
Yeah.
Other than that, we would have never beat them if they had they not got older.
So, when did you stop kind of playing snooker seriously?
1980. Yeah, I
1980.
played in the World 1980 and gave it up after that.
And then what was the highest rank that you were in England, I guess?
Yeah, I think back then they only had like 50 pros in the world.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think they only allowed about 50.
Wow.
That year we formed the Canadian Professional Association. There were like 8 people that turned pro that year.
Yeah.
Cliff and Bill were already in, but we didn't qualify
Yeah.
to go play in Europe, so we formed our own.
Mm-hmm.
We were like Jimmy White, Kirk Stevens, Frank Jonick, Mario Mora.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I think we were probably about 8 total. We all went to play in the World that year.
Wow. Over the years, I've been playing snooker seriously since about I guess about 95, 96, and I picked it
Okay,
up.
yeah,
I picked it up here in Burnaby, and the place that I played at was Alpha Billiards. You probably never heard of
yeah,
that place.
yeah,
Oh, okay. You know Alpha Billiards, so
yeah,
you probably met
yeah,
Bill.
yeah. I didn't play too much out here, but I know of it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, Alpha Bill.
yeah,
Where they, that was almost an institution here out
yeah,
here for a while in Burnaby with all the top players that used to play John Horsfal, and that's
yeah,
the only John probably
yeah.
you must have met John. So I used to play back in the mid '90s, and then it kind of died out about in the last 5 6 years. The Alpha Billiards closed down, and then there's a place in Richmond. A lot of the Asians picked up snooker, so there's a
Yeah.
couple of places in Richmond now.
Hmm.
And but lately over the last couple of years, I really haven't played that much snooker on a 6x12.
Yeah.
But I miss the game. I play sometimes with my friends in a 5x10,
Hmm.
make the odd 50 break. But
Yeah.
it's a beautiful game. And so then I did this snooker website, and Tommy Lee. It was very interesting. 'Cause Tommy Lee had this photo album
Yeah.
that he'd been hiding at home, and he just on a whim he brought it to the club one day in Richmond,
Hmm.
and he'd forgotten about his photo album. And then the guy that was working at the club in Richmond said, "Take this thing home and scan these photos. Because
Yeah.
if Tom finds out, he's going to take this photo album back. Because you know the way Tom is, right? Tom doesn't want to have a story. No, he wants to be an unknown, right?
Okay.
That's the way Tommy Lee
Yeah.
always was. But over the years, I heard so many different stories from all these guys like yourself and Kevin Deroo, and
Yeah.
I've even spent a bit of time with Cliff.
Yeah.
You must have. Do you know Tony Fun? You ever heard of Tony
Yeah.
Fun?
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of time with Tony Fun. Actually, he used to play over at Alpha Billiards, and he'd knock in the odd 50-60 break and teach me how to play back in those days. But
Hmm.
I still see Tony Fun on a once every couple of months. I'll go and visit him, and he's out in Surrey now. He's working out in
Okay.
Surrey, and so yeah, a lot of interesting stories over the years. But
Yeah.
it's too bad. It's a real shame that the game hasn't maintained popularity in Canada.
Yeah. I recognize another photo. A guy that I think went to Europe one time with the gang years ago, like back in the I don't know 30 or 40s. Eddie Agha from Montreal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. He was another top in the world guy. But the problem with playing over in Europe, you go there and they have like a 40-ounce claw, so you play in a nap.
Yeah,
Oh, here we don't have a nap.
yeah,
There if you go the other way on the table towards the bulk line,
yeah,
if you put a little left hand stuff, the ball goes to the right,
yeah,
not the left.
yeah. Up,
So,
up, yeah.
completely different, right?
So where's that photo that you're talking about that you recognize someone? Which photo is it?
Uh, Let me just kind of move you around. I don't know if I'm going to cut you off here. If I cut you off, I'll call you back. Let me try to. Okay.
If you minimize the Skype, then
Yeah,
we'll still be able to chat and we can go through these photos.
yeah. I'm looking at the picture 52.
Picture 52.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And the guy on the left is Len Homenchuk.
The far left. Yeah.
Yeah, the far left. He's actually a Vancouver guy. There's three Vancouver guys. The far left is Len Homenchuk,
Yeah.
Gary Strachan,
Yeah.
Jimmy White from Calgary.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was living in Vegas. He might be back in Toronto now. He's taken over all the corporate work from Cliff kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the other guy's Ron Moen.
Ron Moen, one in the back, yeah.
Yeah, the guy in the tie. I don't remember where that picture was taken. Somewhere in Europe. That's probably yeah. I don't really recognize that guy.
Yeah.
The other guy to the left of me, he was actually McDonald. He owned all the pool halls, all a big chain, the Broken Cues in the Ottawa area.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, and he organized that whole tour.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, 2 years in a row. He was the main guy. We only bucked up a little bit of money. He
Yeah.
arranged the whole friggin' thing. We hopped on the plane and we had an itinerary already laid out and everything.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm the little guy there, and the other guy is Kirk Stevens, and the guy in the far right, I don't recognize him. He might be like an owner of a club where we went to play at,
Yeah, yeah.
though I don't really recognize him. Yeah.
Interesting. Wow, that you know all these. What other photos do you see some people in?
Let me just switch back here and try to get back to the photos here. See what photo is that? Well, that's Jimmy White. Yeah, photo 17 again is Jimmy White.
Photo 17.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He made it. He competed in the top in the world for I don't know many many years.
Yeah.
Number 15. The guy on the right is John Bear.
Ah, okay, John Bear, okay. On
Yeah.
the right, yeah.
Yeah, I recognize him. I'm just trying to look at a couple of the earlier photos there.
John Bear, I think he passed away, did he not?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, did you go to, I guess you must have gone to his funeral or something.
You know what? I didn't because I didn't run into Jimmy Bear for quite a while after, and I didn't hear anything on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't get to go. Of course, picture 12, Bill Werbeniuk Cliff.
Yeah.
Without enlarging it, I don't know who the guy on the left might be.
Big Billy. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually lived with Billy in Europe for a while when I played in the world. He lived with a guy, Mike Waterson. In 1980, actually, the world snooker tournament was gonna like be a flop.
Yeah.
And the money guy backed out, and then the guy, this really rich guy, Mike Waterson, who Billy's friend, took over it.
Yeah.
Or there wouldn't have been a 1980 world tournament.
Wow.
Yeah.
Actually, Kevin, before I go any further, I want to ask you, is it possible for me to record this video conversation? Would you be okay with that?
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure that if I put this up on the snooker forum, there'd be lots of Canadians that would just love to hear about it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you were saying in some other photos?
Yeah, photo 36, the guy from Ottawa, Greg Kennedy, I recognize him.
Photo 36.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's Greg Kennedy. Okay.
Greg Kennedy, yeah, from Ottawa, really, really good player. When I was growing up, they were like the top in town, and they were like huge. Nobody could beat them.
Wow.
They played really well. They played, back in the day, we had to gamble for a living, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were like the top gun. Number 40 is Robert Paquette from Montreal.
Number 40.
Yeah.
Number 40. Okay, Robert Paquette. Okay, yeah.
Like I say, other than Cliff and Bill, Robert and Julian Saint Denis, who's Saint Denis in 41,
Yeah.
they were number 3 and 4 in Canada, like for forever, you know.
Wow.
Till a bunch of the young people like Kirk Stevens, Jimmy White came up, and then they kind of took over.
So who did you learn from when you first learned the game?
I'd only been playing about 3 months, and I got in a tournament, and I won a couple of tournaments right off the bat.
Wow, 3 months.
Yeah, I kind of learned on my own. Back in the day, I think we learned a lot quicker because you had to gamble.
Yeah.
Not like now, people go with their buddy and they play 8 or 9 ball and bang around and
Yeah.
play with their phone and do all. We had money on the line, right?
Yeah.
Now, I mean, you had to play a lot quicker.
Yeah.
I think maybe though I traveled a lot with a guy named Tony Lemay. You ever heard of him?
The name comes up.
Yeah, he was a big guy, about 450 pounds, maybe even around 500.
Yeah.
Him and Paul Thornley, they were like the two top hustlers forever.
Yeah.
They could get blood out of a rock. They knew how to get blood out of a rock, man. They traveled. I traveled with Tony, and we made a pretty good pair. Tony weighing about 500.
Yeah.
I'm maybe about 14 at the time, looked about 10.
Yeah.
And then Tony would take him off for the money, and then he'd turn around to the guy and go, I'll tell you what, we'll give you an opportunity to get your money back. Play my boy here,
Yeah.
right? And then I'd take the guy off for like more,
Yeah.
And then when I got about 15, and another year or two after that, I'd be able to beat Tony.
Yeah.
And then we'd have Tony play the guy, and then we'd, even though I'd age a couple, I probably looked about 12.
Yeah.
And then we'd do that line again, well, play my boy here, right?
Amazing.
And I'm looking at picture number 41 is Julian Saint Denis.
41.
I watched that guy play a lot. Man, I tell you what, I never watched anybody beat him other than Cliff or Bill.
Wow.
Yeah, I played him one time in a broken cue one time for practice, and we played about 15 games, and he had 12 100 runs in them 15 games.
Wow.
Yeah, I never watched anything like that.
And this is with heavy balls, heavy cloth, old cues.
No, we played with the Vitalite balls.
Oh, you played with the Vitalites. Okay.
Yeah. I'm looking at picture 42. Although I'm not from the Alberta area, I think that might be a guy called Joe Big Plum.
Okay.
And then Eddie Agha, number 44.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So you pretty much know just about all the guys in these photos. Do you remember these photos being taken? Do you remember when these photos are being taken?
No. Don't really remember, but actually I've seen that picture number 47. Without blowing it up, I think there's Bill and Cliff in that one. It's actually looking like Cliff, so...
Is that Cliff in the...
let me blow it up there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm looking at the stroke, and yeah, definitely Cliff. Yeah.
You're looking at the stroke.
Yeah. The bridge, I actually got to travel with him a little bit too, so I got to go around with him, and I'm looking at picture 50, and it's kind of blowing it up.
Yeah.
Oh, that could be a picture of Len Homenchuk, a younger Len. Yeah, I think the younger picture of Len Homenchuk.
Okay.
And Gary Strachan on the right.
Gary Strachan, just behind him, or the guy that's handing
the guy shaking the hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's kind of funny how the pictures go, because when I was talking to you online there, it kind of covers my closing, so I got to close the whole thing and reopen it from the beginning again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There we go, yeah. A couple of the older pictures of guys, I'm just trying to open a couple here now. I don't recognize that guy. Like, I've heard like George Chenier and all the gang there, but I was a little bit young. I was born in '59.
Yeah.
I was a wee bit young to actually meet them.
Yeah.
Uh, there's one picture. Let me find out what picture that is. I have to close it again. Okay, picture number 5.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the guy second on the left with the funky looking shirt. I'm pretty sure that might be Marv Joe.
I've heard this name as well. One of my friends that I still play snooker with, Dale. You ever heard the name Dale? Chinese guy?
Yeah,
Oh, you know Dale.
I think I know him.
Short Chinese guy. Always wears a toque. Always drinking.
Oh, I don't know about that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But he mentioned what was it? Marv Joe? Is that what you just said?
Marv Joe, yeah.
So it's picture number 5, and who is he? Where in the picture?
He'd be the number 2 guy on the left with the kind of the gray, the funky looking shirt.
Oh, the printed shirt. Yeah, that's Marv
Yeah.
Joe, eh?
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, it's sure looking like him. Marv still plays in like the league pool and goes to Vegas every year.
Does he really? He's still here
Yeah.
in town?
Yeah. Right now they're playing at the ballroom league.
Oh, he's playing in there now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Marv is a funny guy. He's a really good guy, right?
Yeah.
Him and the brother Dave Joe, they both play really well.
Okay.
I think maybe Dave might play maybe better than Marv, but the funny thing about Marv, anytime you have him on the team,
Yeah.
we made him the anchor guy. He might not be the number 1 player on the team,
Yeah.
but nobody could beat him on the 35th game.
Wow.
Yeah, you got about 10 turns at the table, but he managed to find a way to win all the time. Yeah, unreal. We laughed all the time, right?
Yeah.
We don't know how you can get that many turns at the table, but the guy came out with the win all the
He
time.
knows what it takes.
Yeah.
So you don't play now pool at all? You don't pick up the stick?
When I came out here, I began to. Well, I didn't play for a long time, and then they had the big D back in Richmond.
Yeah.
I think around 1990,
Yeah.
and then they had like 8 grand for the winner, so I jumped in.
Yeah.
And then I recognized all the pros from the U.S. and everybody from Canada came out,
Yeah.
which I love to play with the top people in the world
Yeah.
and the top people in Canada. So I jumped in. I came runner up that year. I think, yeah, if I remember right, Stan beat me in the final that year.
Stan Trajan?
Yeah. And he made. I had him hooked on the 8 ball, and he made a 2 banker. Made the 8.
Yeah.
And the other game, I think it might have been like the rubber game. I had him hooked on the 8
Yeah.
with like 5 balls left or whatever it worked out to. So it's not likely he'll win. I had him hooked. He did a 3-railer and made the 8 to win the tournament.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, unreal.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm actually recognizing another guy now. Let me find out what picture. Okay, where are we here? Where'd it go? Oh. Kind of funny, I gotta close it and reopen her again. Where did I have that picture? Let me have to get it. You ever heard of Jerry Kapinski?
Yeah, the name comes up. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. On picture number 18,
Okay.
the far right guy in the beard.
The far right guy in the he's
Yeah.
just out in the corner of the picture.
Exactly. He's half in, half out.
Yeah.
And you got John Bear on the left there.
John Bear.
Yeah.
Where is he? Which one?
In blue, with the trophy.
Oh, with the trophy. That's John Bear, right? Right. Okay.
Yeah. But Jerry Kapinski is really funny.
Yeah.
A really good guy.
Yeah.
If he didn't have like 20 beer,
Yeah.
he couldn't beat anybody. No, for real. I'm not joking. Anybody that knew him and played with him, if he had 20 beer, you can't beat him.
Wow.
Majority of the time he played drunk,
Yeah.
and you couldn't beat him when he played drunk.
Wow.
Unreal. I never figured out people like yeah. you know, like when we were over in Europe, like all them guys are alcoholics, man. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Coleman's, the Dennis Taylors, the Alex Higgins, the Jimmy White. They were all friggin' alcoholics, man. They played drunk.
And they
Yeah,
still play. They still play drunk. I think.
yeah, unreal.
Unbelievable.
They had a big tournament. They call it the Masters in Toronto every year, and we brought over the top 8 in the world every
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
And it happened. Jimmy White and Dennis Taylor ended up in the final.
Yeah.
What they did, they like they do for the World Championship, they played a match during the day, and then they have a 4 hour break.
Yeah.
And we went to the bar during that 4 hour break. And back then, we went to a bar, and they had what they called the quart beer. They were
Okay.
like 2 beers in one
Okay.
quart bottle. And I'm not lying, they each had 20 of them. They had 40 beer in 4 hours. Yeah, we go back for the evening session, and we're all looking at each other and going, oh boy, this should be friggin' hilarious. These guys are gonna bomb out, right? You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
they could hardly even walk. They played 9 games at night, 800 runs during the 9 games they played.
No way.
Yeah, I'm not lying.
Do you have any videos? Do you have any videos back there? Like, do you collect any videos of stuff?
No,
Of,
but
things back then.
no, I don't know who was looking after the who like took on the Masters.
Yeah.
But I do know a guy, the commentator, Clive Everton from
Yeah.
Europe.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If anybody would kind of have anything like that, he might.
Really? He would
Yeah.
have video footage. That would be amazing.
Because, you know, he was deeply involved with them, right? He was the commentator, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Because like the one person that I'd really love to see play is the person that locally here he's kind of a legend, which is Tommy Lee.
Tommy Lee, yeah,
At least among the young kids, he's still out. In fact, he's still at the snooker clubs playing and teaching.
yeah,
And you know the what everybody says, but he used to have the sidearm, right? The chicken wing.
yeah,
And that he did amazing things with that. But it's a real shame that there's no video of that. You know?
yeah. Well, you know, Tommy Lee was famous for another thing. He was he took like 5 minutes to make every shot. Yeah, he'd be down on the cue,
Yeah.
and then you didn't know if he was still thinking or actually he fell asleep.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that he
Yeah.
fell asleep a couple of times.
Yeah, oh, more than a couple. Oh yeah, yeah. It was unreal. You played him and you didn't know whether to wake him up because you didn't want to bother him. You didn't know is he going to take the shot or is he napping or am I going to throw him off or what the heck, right?
I heard also there was a demonstration game with the British, and then he ran like a perfect game in pinks. I heard all sorts of crazy stories. And then I heard one time that he was playing some kid that he had to spot like 80 points, and
Yeah.
the score at one point was like 170 to 87, and for like 15 or 20 for half an hour, Tommy was chipping off the reds, coming 2 cushions, and then pushing the balk line colors closer and closer towards the blue.
Yeah,
And there's a couple of people like Tony Fun told me about the game because I think he was there. There's a couple of other people that told me about it that said that it was just the most unbelievable thing they'd ever seen.
yeah. Tommy played really well.
Yeah.
I'm looking at another picture now. I blew up picture 22.
Yeah.
The guy in the blue jacket.
Yeah.
That would be Jimmy Bear. A long time ago.
Jimmy Bear. Yeah.
Yeah.
I recognize him. Jimmy, he's still out in Vancouver. He goes to.
Yeah. Yeah. I think 2 or 3 years ago I went down to what is the name of that one on Main there, Main and Broadway?
Yeah.
What the heck is the name of that one now? Anyway, if he hasn't changed, he'll probably be there every day.
Is that right? Yeah, I heard he's there. He's there less often now though, because he's getting old.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. How was he as a player? What was he like?
Yeah, Jimmy played really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was John played a lot better than Jimmy, but I personally think Jimmy was a better potter, and John played the game really, really good, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy just he was like one of the like no brains, just go go go, and but But when he got tuned in, man, he had a hard time beating him.
Yeah.
You know,
There's actually videos of John Bear playing. You know, there's a whole bunch of videos on YouTube of John Bear.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I'll have to send you the link. He's playing pool.
Okay, yeah. I'm just going through some more pictures here. Yeah. Yeah, because you know a lot of the people here they're from out your way here.
Yeah.
So I don't recognize. I didn't come out here until like, well, I came out here one time early, probably 78 around there to do gambling with the guy who owned Seymour Billiards, and then I'd go to Calgary too.
Yeah.
Play the gang out there for a little while, but trying to think of the guy that owned the Seymour Billiards now. He was a big gambler. He'd play anybody for like 100 a game, you know.
Yeah.
Bob, yeah, Bob. I can't think Bob who now, but
Not Bob Chaperon.
no, not Bob Chaperon. No, he ended up that guy ended up turning pro out of Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just gonna get you back on Skype here. If I can get back here. Okay. Trying to get your picture back here.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we here? Oh, there we go. No.